Hello, let's do Wordle for Monday, December 1st. Yesterday we spun the wheel and it said to start with Pearl, which shouldn't be too bad. Ooh, wow, that's actually really nice. We get the EA. So my initial thought is just start with LEA, like the word learn, but there's no R, obviously. Leech. This is leech. I don't know that this is a word, leech, that way. What else would it be? Least. Oh, if today is the day of least, that's amazing. Oh no, least was already sorry. We know that least was already the answer. I've been tracking all the Salet anagrams. Least has been the answer. So I was telling people to start with least until that was the answer. And now I tell people to start with steal. So I don't think it's least. It could be something like leash then. Let's give that a try. Ooh. Wait, is it leech? Is that a word? I'm pretty sure leech is double E. What else could it be? Like with that H there. CHTH. Leaf isn't a word. Okay. I'm going to try leech then. Darn, it was the first thing I thought of, and I thought it wasn't a word. I'm going to look up the difference between those two things. It's a little embarrassing, but that's okay. Leech with double E is the animal. Leech with EA. Drain away. Okay, so it's the verb. Huh. I always just kind of assumed they were the same word because they're similar concepts. Anyway, you learn something every day, right? That's fun. One of the fun things about playing these games. Well, before we do anything else, let's spin our members wheel and see what we are starting with tomorrow. All right, pound, suggested by Scott Bathurst. So if you'd like to follow along, start with pound tomorrow. Hopefully it's not the ound trap. All right. Well, let's check with the bot and see how we did today. I feel like I did well, but I mean, there was no reason to pick leech over leash unless one's been the answer before. I don't know. But this bot doesn't care about that sort of thing. The answer was leech. I started with pearl. So there were 10 words left. Dealt and mealy were the only ones not starting with L. We had leech, leafy, leaky, lent, lease, leash, least, leave. Okay. I didn't think of most of those, but I wasn't really trying to. I was just seeing what's common, what uses common letters. It obviously suggests least, which is what I was originally going to go with, but then I went with leash, which actually was second best because least had already been the answer, and I thought maybe I could get it into. There was also lease, which I didn't think of, but maybe if I'd thought of lease, I would have gone with it. I probably wouldn't have gone as well. So after leash, we got leech, and I had thought of leech, but then second guessed the spelling. All right, 3 is still pretty good. If we'd gone least, we still would have had 4 words left. So I got lucky not going for least. If we'd gone lease, same deal. We would have had 4 words left. All right. So that's what it would have done. If we start with tails, then we have the ALE out of order. It's going to go glare, and then it's going to go leafy, and then leech. So it gets it in 4. If we did steal, then it's going to go cable and then leech. And then what if anyone still starts with least? I mean, it's been the answer, so probably not, but leafy and then maybe leech, maybe learn, maybe leave. Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit trappy. All right, adieu people. What are adieu people doing today? They have the A and the E because we'll go trace. From trace, we're going to go, we could get leech in 3, but we could also go peach or beach, which are equally good. So we could get it as many as 5. Audio just gets the A, so it's going to go table. From table, it goes feral and then leech, or leash and then leech, or something along these lines. So 4 or 5. People start with stare, get the A and the E yellow. Wow, apparently leech is just one of the good follow-ups, so that's an option. Or something like leafy, which then gets you leech. Or something like leaky, which then gets you leech. So stare people are probably getting leech in 3 if they're getting the common letters, I suppose. Only 10 words left. That's actually interesting. Beach, beady, email, heady, heavy, leech, leafy, leaky, mealy, peach. All right. Trace tries to get in 2. It could. So we assume Trace gets lucky. So Trace got it in 2 today because the whole point is to try to get lucky and get it in 2 if you start with Trace. And then Place. Place is guaranteed leech in 2. So that's what the bot's going to do as well. All right. I don't think we're going to have too many people losing today. Very common word, other than people who think it's spelled some other way else. Who would think that? I don't know. 95 skill from me, 87 luck. All right. Pearl. Strong opening guess. Extraordinarily lucky today. All but 10 words. So who started with Pearl? 324 other readers started with Pearl in hard mode. So it's a common starting word-ish. I mean, common is not that common when we're talking about 324 people, but most people start with the same like 5 words. Kind of boring if you ask me. Anyway, people are following up with least, leech, leash. Wow, leech actually more common follow-up than leash. I thought of it, and then I thought it wasn't a word. Maybe I should have just tried it. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. And then I did leech. Yeah, everyone who did leech after because it was the only option. Yep, gets in 2. We knew that would happen. Only 0.1% starting with 0.1% starting with Pearl. We don't know. I'm guessing it's 0.2% like usual, getting it in 1. 99.1% solve rate is a little bit lower than I thought. We have some people losing on beach, peach, teach, reach. So I guess there is that trap. So if you started with, like, if you didn't get the L, I mean, L is an extremely common letter and you should be getting it. But if for whatever reason you're starting salvo, didn't get the L, you could end up in the each trap and then lose because you're now down to just guessing the first letter in hard mode. All right. Well, that is it for Wordle. How'd you do? If you'd like to watch the New York Times games, you can click at the end of the video. It'll take you right there. I also have a pinned comment with all the games I played today. And if you enjoyed this, why don't leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.